so much detail, dude. I woke up too early today, man. My speech is impaired. Really, it's just me trying to point out where you can improve, where you can do just a little bit better to get you to that next level. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here today, we got another, you guessed it, replay analysis for somebody in our Discord. This is Mr. Monk in game, and they are Champion 2. No, it was Champion 3 Division 2. Yeah, Champion 3 Division 2. Their goal is to hit GC by the end of the season. We're going to analyze their 2v2 gameplay and see what we can help them with, what we can point out to improve their gameplay and get them to that GC level. They're really close, so I expect this to be a pretty good analysis. Without further ado, let's get into it. That's quite the engine sound there. That's a mean sounding octane. Sheesh. Alright, let me go back. I was slightly distracted there. Okay, so far so good, honestly. It's not terrible. Yeah, if you don't go up for this, you're gonna be getting pressured by Sigma. So I like this. I like this challenge here. Ooh, can he? Unfortunately your teammate's diving in for absolutely zero reason. You're literally in the middle of going for the ball. You pop the ball out in front of you and you're boosting towards it. Your teammate should see that. That obviously means that you're attempting to go for the ball. Quick tip for anyone else, not for you, but for people like your teammate. If your teammate is, especially in 2v2, if your teammate is making a play on the ball, don't try to interject yourself. It's especially bad in 2v2 because you're the only two players on the field, but it's still bad in 3v3 as well because that's a double commit. Alright, pick up your pads, bro. Already noticed you're not pathing up this middle path of pads here. Or going out for the outside path of pads either. Right? You should be flipping up this middle path of pads, and if you notice your teammate starts taking your path of pads, or if you want to go off and challenge, you can. Or you could come out this way and pick up this path of pads. Looks like neither of you took a path of pads back, so we'll see how this plays out. By Champ 3, I really would really need to see picking up your pads and your rotations. Quick equalizer. Love when that happens. You score a goal and then your opponent equalizes right afterwards. Okay. Alright. You guys that are submitting your analysis, you guys need to start watching my watching my replay analysis. You know, I don't know, you guys are submitting them, but I keep seeing the same mistakes, same very easily fixable mistakes in a lot of these replays. Come on, boys, you guys need to be watching the videos. So the issue here, anyone, you know, watching that watches my videos regularly knows what it's going to be, but you're picking up the wrong path of, you're picking up the wrong corner boost here off of Kickoff. Now, every video is a unique video with unique viewers, so I'm going to take the time to explain it, but if you know what I'm going to say, feel free to skip ahead. But the issue here is, as the second man on Kickoff, you either, in 2v2, you either want to be cheating up the middle, or you want to go for one of the corner boosts. But that was a trick. That was a trick statement. There's only one correct corner boost to grab. You want to grab the corner boost behind your teammate doing the kickoff. Reason being is, as your teammate goes for the kickoff, they go up this way, and their momentum, because it's traveling from left to right, from this side to this side, they're more often than not going to land off on this side of the ball. And so their next play is going to be you know, depending on the situation, they might need to pick up pads. They might not have time to go for a big boost, but if they're going to go for a big boost, they're going to continue to the closest boost, which is going to be this one. But if the other person cheating up comes and rotates in and steals this boost from them, well, again, depending on the situation, they may have to pick up pads, but if they don't, their next play is going to be going to this boost, the next closest big boost. But guess what? If you went this direction and stole this boost, they now, on their rotation through, bam, do the kickoff, land in this direction, maybe get beat to this boost, and now they're boost starved because you took the wrong boost. So 99 out of 100 times, your teammate doing the kickoff is not going to need to come back to the boost that's behind them. That's why you want to take the boost behind your teammate. That way, as they rotate through, do the kickoff, land off on this side, rotate through, bam, this boost is here for them. Yay, they're not boost starved. Good attempt on the control here. Would have been a lot nicer if your teammate wasn't rotating ball side. Another thing I point out a lot, your teammate's rotating ball side here. Let me point out where they're at really quick. See them right there? Plays, the ball's moving back in this direction. You're about to catch the ball here, but your teammate is rotating into the play. He does realize last second that he's in the way, and he rotates out behind you, which is, at least he did that, but there's so much detail, so much information that goes into Rocket League that is utilized, that the sooner you can not rotate into the play as Supermac here, the better. Because if you pay attention, I don't know, in the recording, in the video, if you're going to be able to hear the game sound super well. Maybe I'll try to increase the sound here for you guys on YouTube, but pay attention. You have your ball cam on. That's good, that's fine. And as your teammate's rotating into the play here, look, you can see not Sigma Gamer up in the top right, but you can't see the other opponent and you can't see your teammate. So there's two players unaccounted for. You don't know if you're getting challenged by your second opponent here. So this flip that you're hearing coming up behind you, that car that you hear coming up behind you, for all you know, until you see your teammate, could be your other opponent. And so if you don't hear your teammate coming from this angle here, you'll have slightly more confidence and you'll have a better understanding of how much time you have on this ball. Because I feel as though if you are not hearing this person coming up from this angle, you possibly take this catch a bit more side on, and you're more immediately ready to take the ball up the sidewall, maybe grab this boost if it's there. This might be a replay bug that it's not there. But because you hear this car coming here, you kind of have to position a bit more on the goal side of the ball to account for a possible 50-50 you might have to take. Right? If you're taking this angle as an opponent could be coming up from this side and challenging, yeah, you're blocking like this path of the ball, but the 50-50 possibly just shoots out this direction. So you're doing good here by hearing that you could be getting challenged over in this direction, and you're positioning to essentially take this 50-50 in a way where it safely forces it to your corner and you can collect the corner boost and then challenge the ball again. So I like your positioning here, given the information that you're given. And this is a very complex, complicated breakdown that I'm giving right now, but I'm just trying to just point out how much sensory information and just how much information in general goes into decision making in Rocket League in an instant. And again, I feel as though if you don't hear this person coming up behind you, bam, you don't catch this ball. So, I could be wrong. This could have just been a misplay. But you don't catch this ball going this direction, you catch this ball more so immediately going up the wall because you don't have to account for a possible 50-50 coming in. And then this play just develops a lot faster and you probably have better control on the ball. But secondly here, this play isn't terrible, right? You do a good job controlling this ball and beating this first man, but you got to be careful. This flip here, beating this first man here, almost isn't even worth it. It's almost not even worth it to flip into this ball because all you're going to be doing is, yes, getting the ball past this guy here, but this guy easily comes in and has the next possession. He bangs it to the backboard. He takes it for a 1v1. So while you beat the first man, you always got to be thinking, all right, I'm beating the first man, but am I also keeping the ball away from the second man? In one touch, in one play, you need to outplay the first man while also keeping the second man off of the ball or beating the second man as well, setting yourself up to take a 50-50 with the second man coming to challenge or to beat the second man coming to challenge or to set your teammate up for a pass. But this wasn't really a play where you were going to be expecting your teammate to be in midfield for this pass. Right, he rotates past you. I guess actually you could have expected your teammate to be there for the pass. It did look like he veers out midfield actually, and he could be there for the pass. So I take that back. My fault. But that's still something to keep in mind. Maybe in the moment you do notice your teammate isn't there for the pass. So instead what you might want to do is actually just single jump off of the wall here. Single jump off of the wall, follow behind the ball. And maybe your single jump pops this ball far enough over the first man, or you air dribble it just like maybe one extra touch over this first man, and then you're able to land following the ball on the ground, and you're still in control of the ball. Let me show you through a fly perspective what that might look like. Right? Instead of flipping into this ball, maybe you jump off and pop it. At this point, maybe he pushed up too far and you're already over him, but if not, you get one more touch, and at that point, I think you should be over him. Now, he might try to interfere with you as you land. He might try to bump you, whatever, but at least you're attempting to beat the first man while also staying in control of the ball to have a play on the second man as well. So essentially, pop this ball over him with a single jump into maybe a little bit of an air dribble. Still have maybe 10, 15 boosts when you land in this area, still behind the ball, still in a threatening position on the second man now. So try to come up with a way in the moment to not only beat the first man, but also have a play on the second man as well. Oof. Slow reaction there. That was savable. Teammate and you just not on the same page here. Unfortunate. That's tough, especially in solo queue, knowing who should go for this ball. Let's see this from your teammate's perspective. See how much time he has to understand whether he should go for this or not. This does look like a good ball your teammate can go for, but his issue is he's jumping straight ahead. He's not even jumping towards the ball. He's gonna have to jump in this sort of path and come meet the ball if he actually wants to beat anybody. He's jumping straight ahead this way, but at that point there's so much distance here that, you know, that other opponent can come and shut that down before he shoots. So I mean, again, no comms. This is pretty difficult decision to be made on whose ball this is. I don't really blame either of you for double committing for this, but your teammate definitely could have done better here. If he jumps actually towards the ball, he probably at least 50-50s this instead of just completely losing the challenge, and then the double commit isn't as bad. There you go. Better kickoff there. Notice you grabbed the boost behind the person doing the kickoff. That was well done. The only next thing I'm going to point out, the next step of that is when you grab this boost, again, people who watch my videos know what I'm going to say, but when you grab this back corner boost off of kickoff, you want to turn towards the net instead of upfield. By turning towards the net, if that kickoff is a dead ball kickoff or it just lands in the middle of the field and then the person cheating up can shoot, if you turn upfield in this direction, you can't get back to the ball to save a shot on net most of the time if it's a well-placed or if it's a well-placed shot or if it has enough power on it, you're not going to get back to save it. The only way you're going to be able to get back to save a ball that's a dead ball kickoff is by turning towards the net initially when you grab the boost. I'm gonna go back one more time, see where this other teammate, our other opponent is at. Bam. Yeah, I don't hate going for the demo there. It's not a terrible attempt. You could have played the ball as well, but the demo is not bad there. All right, here, I'm gonna tell you, take your time on this ball. Take your time on this ball. This guy's out of the play. He's landing like he's pretty much face planting into the wall right now. His recovery is going to be pretty slow, and he also hit the ball really fast at the back wall. So if you let this bounce off the back wall and come in this direction, it's going to bounce off really fast and give you a lot of space away from this opponent to where you can start a dribble play and you have this other guy in a 1v1, right? Because this ball is coming so fast off of the back wall, and he's kind of face planting into the back wall anyways, you're going to have a lot of space and a lot of time on this ball to where you don't have to worry about him coming up behind you and bumping you for a while. So again, this guy's all the way back here. You have a free ball coming off at the wall in this direction. Instead of hitting this back to him and giving away your attempt, your possession, your possibility of scoring a goal in a 1v1, let this ball bounce off the wall. Let it come past you, follow up behind it, and start a dribble. You know, I personally would probably let this bounce off in this direction, and then I would start a bounce dribble personally. I would tap the ball once this way, maybe tap the ball again this way. He keeps shadowing, and at any point in time, bam, you just take a power shot on net off the bounce dribble. Or you can also, let the ball come this way, and you could pick it up on your hood for a flick. The only thing you got to worry about is when you do pick the ball up on your hood for a flick, a lot of the time that slows you down a bit. So if you're going to make that play, you need to execute quickly, because while you have the space and time for a 1v1, it's not going to last forever. And so you need to make a play that is set up somewhat quickly when you take this 1v1. But instead, you hit the ball to him, and he hits the ball back. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great hit back, so you guys are still on offense. But the 1v1, you could have potentially scored. Let me see this. This isn't terrible, but personally, right, you make this touch because you do see that Not Sigma Gamer is closing this distance on you, and he's gonna challenge you. If you try to take this up the wall, if you try to catch this and take this up the wall, he's gonna be there for the challenge, and you're last, your teammate's way out of the play, so you really don't want that. So it's good recognition by you that you do not want to take a 50-50 here, and you do not want to allow yourself to just get challenged for free. Personally, what I would have done here is I would have noticed I do have enough space that I can actually get behind this ball as it comes down to the ground. Bam, notice where your opponents are. He's close, but you do have the space to let this ball land in front of you, catch it, and bring it all the way back, man. Bring it up, grab your back corner boost, bring it around, and he might continue to chase you, but I mean, it's better than, in my opinion, yeah, it depends on your skill level and your ability to control the ball. But you would have at least given your teammate time to get back. You wouldn't have gotten challenged. You would have potentially boost starved your opponent who's chasing you. So at any point he might have to pull off of the challenge. And then you're safely over in your corner. Your teammates had time to get back. You've bought him time to get back. And you have possession of the ball coming out of your corner in order to start a play. So personally, that's the route I would have taken. I really love making those plays. If there's no play going forward, if you're gonna make a bad play going forward, you're gonna get challenged going forward, it's never a bad idea to just grab the ball and bring it all the way back, reset, try again. Never a bad play there. Oof. Let's go back on this. Alright, so on this 50-50 here, notice before you turn off your ball cam, right before you turn on your ball cam or off your ball cam. It's too fast. But you have the ability to notice here. If we play this at 5% speed, it might still be too fast, honestly. Jesus. That's so fast. But what you're seeing is pretty much about like this, essentially. You're essentially seeing this. And your teammate you saw was moving back towards your end. So you know here, after you take this 50-50, or you should know if you're paying good enough attention, that your opponent's going to have the next possession here, and your teammate's in a 2v1 or a 1v1. Your teammate's on defense is the part that matters. So you should be making the decision not to go for this mid boost, but to actually go for the back corner boost, while also pathing over pads at the same time, just in case you need to be there to defend, right? I am scuffing this right now. But you should be, instead of going for this mid boost, where then you are very far away from the play and it's going to take you a long time to get back into a meaningful position where you can assist your teammate on defense, you should instead start pathing over these pads and go for this corner boost. Because if you go for this corner boost, by the time you get there, you're already back pretty much to defense. It's just slightly faster to get you back to defense. And we're also picking up these pads as we come to the back corner boost in case this play develops super quickly and you need to abandon going for the corner boost and just play off of pads in your net. But the bottom line here is after you took this 50, if you're paying good enough attention, which you should have been able to see this, that your opponents were going to have the next possession of the ball. So instead of taking yourself an extra far distance away from the play by going for this mid boost, instead you should have turned and came for this corner boost where you're able to stay slightly closer to the play in case you need to help out. And then this jump for the ball, I mean, there's just no reaching this. There's just no reaching this. By the time you reach this ball that you're up for, it's pretty much going to be hitting the back wall. By the time you reach this ball, it's going to be hitting the back wall. And I haven't played this through. I don't know what you attempt to do. I'm thinking you're just going to whiff, honestly, from what I saw so far. But even if you do hit the ball, like I said, it's going to be when it hits the back wall and you're going to have a pinch to maybe recenter in middle. But by staying on the ground and not going up for this in the first place, you could have just driven up into position, not wasted probably all of your boost, gotten the same touch or a better touch. You know, you could have read the situation better by not being up in the air for this unnecessarily. And you'd have more boost, have a better play on the ball. That was just poor judgment, I guess. Spatial judgment, spatial awareness on if you can actually go up for this ball or not, or if you can shoot this ball. Definitely can't shoot this ball. And with the ball coming down to the ground, or back to the wall by the time you make contact with it, you could have stayed on the ground, saved all your boosts, had a much better play on the ball. So kind of just a useless aerial here that does nothing but waste all your boosts and puts you in a tougher position to do anything meaningful on the ball. All right, your teammate's behind you here, right? He's rotating behind you. You gotta make sure you set up the shadow defense here. What I want to see you do is I want to see you actually come more infield, or I guess outfield this way, and then turn, and then you're shadow defending. The way you're positioned now, you're not shadow defending him. You're crossed up with him, and that's a much harder position to defend from. Because if he passes this way, then you can't, obviously the pass isn't going to be there. But if he brings this up the wall and then dishes it down middle with you driving in this direction, you have to do like a complete, either a dead stop in order to try to intercept the ball, or you have to turn around and do a 180 to try to intercept the ball. But if you were to have positioned yourself in this path, actually shadow defend him, meaning you're mirroring the same path, the same angle that he's taking, but just further downfield. As soon as he were to pass this mid, bam, you just drive and turn. You don't have to make a 180 degree turn. You're making more of like a 45 degree turn. Much quicker, much easier. Or if he doesn't pass it and he just tries to take it to the ground and shoot, well, look, I literally just was driving the path he would take, and it's literally the same exact path that you're shadow defending. Easy save. You just jump and save it. That's the beauty of shadow defending, is you're in the same path that they're taking with the ball. So at any time they shoot, as long as it's not super close to the net to where you don't have time to react, you should be able to get up and save anything that he shoots or passes by being in a good shadow defense position. So you want to get yourself out of this crossed up position that you're in right now, and instead veer out closer to him and then set up the shadow defense. Ooh, close. This could be a good opportunity. Another play where you're going up too early. You know what? I'm going to take that back, actually. That's actually not a bad aerial. Because if you don't go up for this, him landing there, he probably goes for the bump on you. Right? If you stay grounded to catch this ball as it comes out, he's probably going to actually bump you, and then it's going to be a really dangerous play. So actually, that's a good aerial. Take that back. The only thing you could have done better is not put this off of your corner like you did, because it's about to bounce back middle. And now your teammate has to try to make a touch probably to stop them from shooting it. Oh, actually, he's going to take possession of it. So yeah, I would have tried to just probably get a touch with the underside of your car. More so with the wheels of your car down here. And that will pretty much, you're up in the air contesting the ball. You're off the ground avoiding the bump. And you're taking a much softer controlled touch to where it's not going to bounce off this corner and come back middle for a possible shot. Really, like, there's not too much to say that you did wrong here. This has been a very not super fundamental replay analysis, which is good. That means your fundamentals are pretty solid. This has been more so like, what could you do better? Just what could you do ever so slightly better in these situations to get you, like you said, you want to get to GC, you're almost there. These are the slight little differences that make a big difference in the long run. taking a, instead of a touch off the front of your car here, hitting the ball into the corner, if you would have took a touch with your wheels, the ball almost like wouldn't change its path, and that's fine, right? You would have been off the ground, you would have been safe from the demo, and you pretty much with a wheel touch would have just bounced kind of off the ball. The ball comes like over here, and you kind of just land in the perfect position to then be on the ball again. Really hard to explain. And I would attempt to use Ripcore that you saw me use in the last replay analysis, but that thing is glitchy as hell when I tried to use it anyways. It was very, very glitchy, so I can't really use Ripcore. But yeah, I'd be jumping up for this. It's a good jump by you in hindsight because, like I said, he probably would have demoed you, probably would have bumped you. Get the wheel touch, and then you probably land about here with the ball falling kind of pretty much right into your lap. I hope that makes sense. I took a long time trying to explain that because, well, it's just something that was hard to explain. Again, not pathing over your pads. This mid boost is up for you, but you're on 0 boost. And assuming that mid boost isn't there, I think your teammate just got this mid boost. Yeah, mid boost is took. So this mid boost actually isn't there when you're driving in this direction. You're on 0 boost. So on your way to this ball over here, you should be picking up pads, right? You miss this pad, and this pad. You could all be picking up on your way to the ball. And then by the time you arrive to the ball over here, you have 36 boosts to make a play if you don't get this boost instead of having 0. So just be a bit more. You need to work on your boost pads, picking up your boost pads, because I have noticed you haven't really been picking up your boost pads at all. Ooh, wow. That was a banger. That was a banger of a shot there. That was a pretty scuffed kickoff. Hopefully your kickoff generally looks better than this, because this kickoff ain't going to get the job done at GC. Your flip up here to the ball is not a diagonal flip. It's like you turn so hard to the side that your flip is almost more of a side flip. You almost literally turned your car 90 degrees to the side and then side flipped. So this was a really slow approach to the ball. Hopefully that was just a fluke. If not, work on your kickoffs. They need to be a little bit better. You see how your nose is pointed way off to the right here? Your nose should pretty much be pointing almost directly towards the ball at this point if you execute that flip a little bit better. Ooh, yeah, take control. I love that. I love that. I love the idea. Not the best execution. What you should have tried to do to make this execution a little bit better. Again, love the idea. Get more when you landed. If you could have had your car positioned about here facing this direction, so you're immediately in a threatening position on Sauce, you could have flicked him as soon as he came in challenge, or he might have just backed off seeing that you had control of the ball and that you could have flicked him. Good recovery off the inside of the net there, and really good demo. Good try. Unfortunate you couldn't get that demo because now you used all of your boosts that you had and didn't get it, and your teammate whiffs the ball as well. A bit unlucky that he whiffs the ball there. You would really hope that your teammate keeps a bit better possession of this. Honestly, he doesn't even have to hit this off the backboard. Now that you demo that other player, he could come down just like you did just a second ago, come down to the ground and land underneath the ball and catch it for a dribble play. Nice. That's a big whiff. Pressure him. Oh. So on your demos, instead of chasing exactly where the opponent's at on your demo attempt, try to anticipate where they're going to go, right? It won't always work because eventually people will start getting better at dodging the demo, in which case he hits the break, right? You want to anticipate which way he's going to go, which to go for this ball, he has to go in this direction, or he has to go in this direction to shadow. So go drive ahead of him, drive in front of him instead of trying to chase behind him, and you probably get this demo. I've noticed a couple times, I think, you keep trying to go for the demo with where the player is at, and that makes it really hard to get the demo a lot of the time. It's a lot easier if you try to anticipate where they're going and get the demo that way. And if he hits the brakes in order to dodge you, well, then at least you've killed all his momentum and your teammate possibly has an opening to come and challenge the ball now before he is able to get back to the ball. Okay, as soon as you don't get that bump, I want to see you rotate out. Oops, pressed the wrong button. God, this is so scuffed. As soon as you don't get this demo here, I want to see you get out of the way, clear out of the way for your teammate. That was a bit far of an arrow. Clear out behind your teammate so that he can either come and challenge or he can set up the shadow defense. But by just being on this wall, you're rotated into the play, and if your teammate has a challenge at any point in time, he can't go for the ball. Because if he goes for the ball, I mean, just look, you're in his way, you're going to bump each other, or you're both in this area at the same time, and which is really risky because if he outplays one of you, he outplays both of you. So just by being in the way, by rotating into the play or rotating ball side, you're not allowing your teammate to be able to come and challenge this if he has a challenge. So again, as soon as you don't get that bump, I'd be moving towards midfield, getting out of your teammate's way, and you could even possibly look for the demo on the other player. If he's coming up midfield for a pass, you could try to demo him on your rotation out as well. Haha. Oh my god, how did that work? Okay. Oh, dang, that was an open net. You had it. That was for the win, or at least for the lead. Dang, unfortunate, man. Pads, pads, pads. You did good here to not go for your back corner boost after he stole that mid boost from you, because you would have been really far out of the play at that point in time, and he could also beat you to that boost if you commit to going for this boost and then he decides to come boost starve you. Well, then you're really far out of the play and you don't have any boost. So you did really good here to decide to just go for pads instead. But then bam, as you're pushing up, bam, just grab that pad off to your right really quick, and then bam, grab that pad off to your right one more time, and you've got 24 boosts here instead of coming up with 0, and you could have beat him to that ball. Again, pads. That's the only glaring mistake that I've seen in your gameplay so far. The only repeated mistake so far has been not picking up your pads. Everything else has just been like one-off mistakes, which, you know, you might not, or you may make on a game-to-game basis. If you do, iron those out and just be more conscious of the small things that I'm saying. Go back, take notes on the things that I'm pointing out, and then while you're playing, make sure you're trying not to do those mistakes, or you're trying to improve upon those areas where I told you can improve. Good back post positioning here. Good save. If you can, it'd be really great if you can do more of like a diagonal flip in this direction with this ball as you come up for the save. Try to get the save. Let me see if I play this out in slow. Oh, dude, I woke up too early today, man. My speech is impaired. My control of the camera is impaired. I got up way too early today. Alright, but as you come in for this save, if you can get slightly more off to the side and force the ball in this direction with your momentum also going in that direction, that'd be great because you have a higher chance of sticking with the ball after the save. It's one thing to make the save, it's another, it's the next level. That's the level you're trying to get to. Again, this replay analysis has not been very much fundamental mistakes, like repeated fundamental mistakes. There have been fundamental mistakes made here and there, but you're not like repeating any of them except not picking up your pads. That's the only one. Really, it's just me trying to point out where you can improve, where you can do just a little bit better to get you to that next level. Because at Champ 3, at GC, going to SSL, that's what it's all about. It's all about the little tiny steps that you can do, the little tiny areas where you can do better, where you can do more, where you can do something slightly more efficient, slightly better, that get you to the next level. And this is another instance where you take this clear more to the corner with your momentum going in that direction, and you're able to stay closer to the ball and not just give it essentially back to now Sigma. I'm going to take a second to explain a little bit more, and I'll put this and the previous statement at the beginning of the video, where I think what you're doing really well, this might be Champ 3s in general, people who are trying to break into that top 5% of players, GC, and then top 1% SSL. What you're at Champ 3 and you're doing really good in the moment. You're doing what you need to do in the moment, but I think maybe what the next step is not only doing good in the moment, but making plays that are planning for the next step, planning for the future, not just playing in the moment, but playing essentially predicting ahead of time and planning ahead of time on what you want to do. You know, how am I I'm gonna make this save, but also how am I gonna make this save where I'm also passing it to my teammate? How am I gonna make this save where I'm also staying close to the ball to follow it up again? That kind of stuff. What happened here? Is that off of Kickoff? I don't remember what the heck was just going on. Anyways. Let me go back. Let's find out what the heck was just going on, because I took that second. Okay. Cheating up on Kickoff. Cool. Bam, you get a 50-50 here. Cool. The smoke screen kind of gets you a little bit, and he just kind of shoots it past you. Not too much to say there, honestly. The smoke screen kind of hurt. I like your positioning here, right? The anticipation is that your teammate's going to bang this across. But that's going to be the game. See what happens on 0 seconds. Is there any 0-second play? Oh my god. Okay. That's the game. Yeah, man. Your fundamentals seem pretty good for the most part, because I didn't really have any repeated issues that I was pointing out, except your use of boost pads, except your pathing over boost pads. That is definitely something where you need to be a little bit more focused on improving, is pathing over your boost pads as you're moving around the field. Other than that, your positioning and your rotations were good. For the most part, I pointed out like one time that you rotated into the play. Other than that, you looked really good rotationally and positional wise. I will say your mechanics seem a little below average for Champ 3. A lot of this game I was watching and I was like, is this guy really Champ 3 or did he lie to me? Because you kind of, I don't want to sugarcoat it. You kind of looked like you had more mechanics of like maybe Champ 2. I'm not super sure what Champ 2 mechanics look like. Actually, I do a lot of Champion 2 replay analysis, so I should have a good idea of what Champion 2 looks like. Yeah, I would say your mechanics look almost like that of a low Champ 2, honestly. Uh, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I think you could definitely improve mechanically on the ground and in the air, both. Just general car control could be better. Your movement around the field is a little slow. You're using a lot of front flips instead of diagonal flips around the field. Maybe you were just being a bit passive this game, because I did notice when you sped up, when the gameplay sped up and you sped up, your mechanics looked a little better. You looked like you had the ability to play faster. So maybe you were just choosing to play slower. But, you know, if this is a pretty average looking game for you, I would say work on those mechanics. I don't think you have the mechanics to be grand champion right now, honestly. Game sense can get you so far, but even with somebody like Flakes who does road to SSL with no mechanics, yeah, or whatever, while he's not performing like fancy aerial plays, he does still possess, because he just the nature, he's a pro player. If he really wanted to do a road to SSL with no mechanics, he would have to like unbind his power slide button to and probably unbind his air roll button. Honestly, if he unbound his power slide and his air roll button, that would really truly be road to SSL with no mechanics. Because power sliding and air rolling are mechanics and they make a big difference in your movement around the field, in the speed of your gameplay. So yeah, just improve your mechanics, your car control overall, your recoveries, your speed around the field. Pick up more pads. You really need to focus on picking up your pads, and then go back, watch the replay through again, and notice how in the situations where I pointed something out, watch it a couple times, take note of how you could have played it better, and then implement that into your game when you arrive in the same situation again, because you will arrive in those situations again. Rocket League is a very repetitive game. As dynamic of a game as it is, you encounter the same situation hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of times throughout your time playing Rocket League, and that's why people get better and why pros are so good, is because you get exposed to the same situations over and over and over and over and over again until you eventually just pretty much perfect how to deal with each situation as they come. So yeah, just keep playing, you'll keep improving. Implement the ways you could have dealt with those situations that I pointed out better, and you're on your way, man. Good luck to everyone who watched the video. Good luck to you on your ranked grind. If you liked the video, it wasn't a bad replay analysis. I feel like it wasn't my greatest. Comment down below, how you felt about the analysis, if you learned anything from it. I'm definitely pretty tired right now. I woke up like 4 hours ago and it's 9:45 a.m. So I woke up at like 6 a.m. So we're tired out here. Our brain's not exactly working optimally. So I'm sorry that your analysis had to get done on a low brain fuel. But if you like the video, leave a like on the video. Subscribe for more educational Rocket League content in the future, because that's what we do here. Always trying to make people better at the game. That's what I really love doing. I really love making this type of content. And you guys really seem to like it. So do me a solid, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!